Hello YouTube, it is Amanda, and this is the first video on what will be a weekly occurrence here on this channel, and that is going to be titled The Week Ahead, and it is where we as a group help each other plan for the week ahead of us. And this planning is what I think is one of the most critical points for weight loss, because if you don't plan ahead and think about potential speed bumps that you're going to have through the week, then it's really easy to get derailed, and then you've lost an entire week of what could be an opportunity. So I'm going to go through my, I guess, 4-step, it's technically 3 steps that I do every week in order to plan my week. The first is, what am I going to eat every day? So I do my meal prep on Sundays typically, and plan out what I'm going to be eating through the week for lunch and or breakfast, and make sure that I pre-package as much of this as possible. Step 2, I try to think of when my schedule will be fluctuating. So certain days I have to be in lab much earlier because I have very early morning meetings, or I'm traveling, or I'm going to be working late, or sometimes it's a combination thereof. So I'm both going in early and I'm staying late. So I want to make sure and identify these days. For example, on Tuesday, I know that I'm going to be going in early, and I'm probably going to be getting off at least an hour later than I normally would. So I want to make sure that I bring breakfast with me that day, that I have lunch packed, and that I am prepared for dinner. So the other thing I do is I coordinate in the same step with my spouse the things that we're going to be having for dinner every night, and I also plan what of those can be taken the next day for lunch. So multitasking. What has worked for me for this is to plan out each of these things on a Google Calendar. When I plan through the days that I have early and late, and sort of my general schedule for the week, I also look at days that I could potentially exercise. So I know it's not going to happen if I have to do it at night. So I wake up early typically, and that's when I typically exercise. So I know that it's probably not going to happen on the days that I have to go in early. So I try to schedule it in such a way that I'm most apt to be successful, because that's why we're here, right? We don't make a wrong choice on purpose. So I'm planning for my success. The next step is the speed bumps. And this is where I'm going to be around things that I know are tempting to me, or an environment socially that I know could be not congruent with my current goals. And that doesn't mean that I can never have a cookie or I can never go out with friends, because I do both of those things. But I'm going to identify when those are most valuable for me. And for example, my boss always likes to bring in cookies when we have afternoon meetings, so that we all spend 5 or 10 minutes chatting and having cookies before the meeting actually starts. And that's wonderful, but I don't really want the cookies that are brought in, and I eat them because they're there. So this is a speed bump for me. So how I've gotten around that is I make myself a large cup of tea, and this is like a 12-ounce cup of tea. So I have something in my hands while we're walking around chatting, so I don't feel the need to pick up a cookie or pick up something else that's in the room that may be tempting me, because my hands are busy. And then it takes me a while to sip the tea because it's typically warm. So by the time I'm about 2/3 of the way done with my tea, our little chatting time period is over. I plan ahead and make sure that if I want what is there, that I can have it, and that if I don't want it, I don't eat it. Okay, so that is how I sort of plan my week. These all kind of work together, and I kind of change as I go along. So I do set this up on Sundays so that I'm best prepared as possible for the week. But if Wednesday comes and I have an unexpected meeting, and I know that I'm now going to be working much longer on Thursday than originally planned, I roll with it. And that's part of being successful when you're watching what you eat. And I don't want to say diet, because diet is not lifestyle, and that's what this is. So when we're changing our lifestyle, that's what we have to do. And I hope this has been helpful. If you see any speed bumps along your way this week, put them in the description box down below. Maybe we can come up and troubleshoot some things together. And I hope that this will be a good sort of community chatting space where we can talk about, sort of our weak points and things that others have done to overcome this, and just be supportive of one another as the week progresses. But if you have anything that you'd like to ask, and other things that I've sort of problem solved as I've been doing this has been one of the biggest things that I think has helped me, so I hope it helps you too. I will talk to you soon. Bye.